What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another unboxing showcase. My goodness, it's been a while, but I had to do this one because this one is just a ridiculous thing that I had to just pick up. It's unbelievable, but I'm very used to the company. This is Snail Shell. This is the Lustia figure, which you can kind of make out right there. So there's, if you don't know what this is, I'm sure by the thumbnail you'd be like, what in the world? Yeah, I definitely picked this up. Picked it up from 5K Toys, so you guys know where I did get it. They could still be in stock. You could definitely check it out, but I did pre-order this. So this was one of those, you know, impulse buys that I was like, impulse pre-orders that I'm like, yep, we're gonna do it. I've had my experience with Snail Shell and I'll be happy with it. So here we go. This is your box, which is surprising. Because you know what, I don't know, maybe it's because I don't remember if the other Snail Shell figures I had a window packaging, but we can find out afterwards. But this is the back of the box. As you can see, there are some labels stating, you know, some Snail Shell things here, also on the front right up here too. But let's take a look. This is 1/12 scale, so let's take a look. Open the box. I did open this for my YouTube reel or Instagram short, so you're gonna see what was in there before. This was really interesting because they actually have sealed stickers on here. This one you can kind of peel off, but this one, the moment you take this off, you're gonna see that void, which is interesting. I don't know why I'm giving that any time, but yeah, they're telling you, and I think I saw it somewhere on here where it said, hey, warning, make sure to, oh, it said it right here. I saw, please make sure the contents are not defective before opening. Like, before opening, that's even crazier. If there are any defects, please contact customer service promptly. But here's everything inside the package, as you can see, which is actually pretty cool. We'll kind of go over that as well, but let's unbox this properly. All right, there you go. That's really, really awkward the way I stood her up, because it's her feet, and we will talk about that more in depth, because I get it. I still got to take some of this plastic off, but we will get to that. We'll go over the accessories first, and of course, we're going to check out this figure. So first of all, we do get the Snail Shell stand, which has the Snail Shell emblem on there. It does have a flight arm, which I believe you can just peg in here, like so, and it's got 3 points of articulation there. The thinner part, you can either use the grabby hook thing. I forgot what that's called, if there's a proper name for it. We have also this piece here, which normally is like a peg for the back of the figure. I believe we just enter this, we'll kind of just plug this in here. I don't know why. I think it only fits a certain amount of space in there. Maybe, am I wrong? Is this the piece? I think this fits somewhere on her. Maybe you know what? That's what instructions are for. Instructions. I hope there's some, well, I guess there's pictures, of course. Pictures always help. Let's see. Letter N. Maybe it will tell us some things that we don't know. Well, ways to articulate, which is actually very nice. We have a tail, and okay, it goes right where the tail goes. Interesting. Very interesting. And at the same time, you always get a card of the actual figure. I guess it's just for more information about the character, as well as nice little poster card as well, and some cross-selling, which we have some of these that are actually on their way to the States. I think some of these are already for pre-order, so you can check those out as well. All right, so starting off, some expressive hands, some grabby hands, and here we have some gripping hands, and then we have these two hands that actually have pegs in them. So that's actually really nice, because there are your accessories that will have holes for those pegs. So that's, hey, I welcome that. That's actually pretty cool. Since I have this book in my hand, there's actually like a clear clear piece right here, which looks like an eye on the inside. So that's a nice touch. That's really cool. And then of course in the book, there are some wording on there. I think I have it upside down. Do I have it up? Yep, because it's Japanese. So of course, do I have it upside down? I swear to God, no, this is probably it, sorry. So yeah, there you go. We have a book, very nice, nicely painted too. And we can just insert it in here like so. And look at that, holding very nicely. Just turn. You can do all kinds of stuff with that. There you go. It's a book. It's a book. And she does have this whip, which is, it's actually a bendy wire, which is actually pretty cool. Look at that. We have a nice bendy wire whip here. And the handle is kind of multicolored. It's like a gold, and it transitions to a purple, then back to gold, with a little skull on the top of it. And this would more than likely fit in with this gripping hand that we had earlier. So the thing about these, the fingers are pretty pliable. You can move them around, but I would probably suggest to be careful. I feel as if, you know, the skull in here is a bit too wide. I don't know if this part comes off. Yeah, there you go. See, I knew. It's import figures. I know they do stuff like that. So I would insert the handle like so, and then pop that back on. There you have it. Nice, very cool. And I should mention this was underneath the tray. Look at that, new pegs. So these are wrist pegs, so just in case you break your pegs here, they have replacements, which is awesome. This, I don't know what that's for, and that's probably where instructions come into play again, because I have to look that up. But hell, whatever this is, I'll take it. But this, always awesome. Snail Shell always provides these extra pegs just in case. And then you have this. This is important. This is actually a tool, not really an accessory. And why is that? Because what we have here is the secondary face sculpt. There you go, tongue sticking out, everything like that. But this, God, this is why I love 1/12 scale, you know, import figures in a way, because some of them have this feature, the rolling eyeball feature, and you can see on the back, and it has it on that one as well, but you can see on the back here, there is the crosshatch right there, and here is your tool. Insert in there, and you can basically move the eyes around left and right, and I'm sure you can do up and down too, if I can just get a grip on there. Yep, that's looking down a bit. That is somewhat looking up, but hell. Rolling eyeball features, man, the mere fact that they can do something like this on such a small frame of a sculpt, incredible. I love that. And one final thing, look at this. Heels. You can swap out her feet, or should I say hooves, because this character is a satyr. So you have like the heel of the foot technically is part of like that elbow, the, you know, foot joint, elbow joint, I don't know, that's what you say. So we'll go over the sculpt in a bit, but we should be able to easily pop this out just like the wrist pegs. Should I use heat? Probably, just to be on the safe side. I'm going to change this out because, to be honest, you guys saw it, this was very difficult to stand. You can make her stand like this, it's easily possible, but holy crap, it's just too small of a frame here for so much mass up here. So we'll swap this out. I did not have to use heat, which is great, perfectly fine, because I normally with import fingers I don't need to use heat. Now I'm just making sure which foot belongs to which leg. So we can just insert like so, which I feel like I inserted it all the way, but we're just making sure. I don't want to, you know, damage my figure, but now we have heels on, so a little bit more base to have her stand up, and then we can talk over what is with this figure. All right, here we go, guys. Paint and sculpt. So I think we're all in agreement about the sculpt. This is quite the voluptuous type of character that we got going on here from Snail Shell, which I think we're all kind of used to it if you are familiar with Snail Shell. I don't mind it at all. Looks great. This sculpt is beautiful. Look at the hair. Hair and face, incredible. I love all the little sculpted details of like the strands of hair going, especially going down her bangs here and down the sides of her face. Those look really nice, and they're sharp as hell too, so they're strong, but they will poke you. Even on the back, as you can see, there is quite a bit of the sculpt that kind of just curves down and curves inward here at the end, so that is really nice. She has her horns up at the top, which of course I did mention. She is a satyr. She's got these earrings. Now be careful with the earrings. They are made of plastic, but you can take them off. Like you can pop this out and they will come off. So if you snag them on something, it is possible that they can get removed, but you can place them back in there, because I did the same thing where I could just see that, just take it right out. And like I said, just be mindful if you have it, be careful with that. But she's got really nice horns. They transitioned into a very nice color here, from like a dark brown to the purple, which is the overall theme of her outfit. Which honestly, her outfit is just these two pieces, because apparently her arms and her legs is her fur, hair. That's, you can see the sculpting on that. So there you can see that the transitions in color as well, where it gets darker towards the ends and lighter in the main part of the body. So that's where you can see the transitioning in color there. Same in the legs, you can see that color. So at least they sculpted something to make it look like she's some form of animal hybrid. Yeah, and then of course she had the hooves like so, and you can swap it out for the shoes, which I honestly prefer. So makes her stand much more easily. But they did paint the boots here into the pearlescent purple and gold, as you can see there. The hands are interesting. The hands are, you know, they're soft, but they did sculpt out the nails, and I think you can see that. So the nails are sharp too, but every one of the hands here has it. So nice to see that detail going on there. Even the paint in the skin tone is actually incredible to look at in regards to how the transitions in color, where it's a little bit like brighter in certain parts, and then it darkens when it meets the fur area. So that's pretty interesting that they got going on there. So I think it's painted very nicely. You can see how here, if we move the clothing out of the way, you can see there's slight pink and then slight white. I hope you can see that in regards to the camera, but that's what I can see in person. She does have a tail, and the tail can pop out. You can remove that tail and you can just put it right back in here. And of course I learned that the tail has a hole right there, which is meant for this peg to, I don't know how this would hold her up, because the tail would be pretty flimsy to kind of peg something there, but hey, whatever, that's what it is. But overall, paint sculpt looks really, really good. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. I have a problem though with this clothing in a way. I think maybe soft goods are in order for this, because look at this. It's just gonna, it bounces around all over the place, whatever this skirt thing is. This is even crazier because this thing can get caught in the hair. I mean, here we have this overlay. I'm going to say overlay. There is some sculpt there on the breast there, but not really any like paint definition to identify where they are. This is my choice of words in that. She has this collar and a little charm on the collar, but that does not move. That's kind of just, it's not sculpted on the skin, but there is a part where it's kind of like permanently on there, so that's not going to be removed at all. But you see what I see, there is gold accents on the clothing as well. So I mean, this is really, really flimsy, but I guess it's meant to be that way. So be it. There you go. There's the paint and sculpt. All right, here we go with articulation. Articulation. This is, I think it's pretty typical when it comes to snail shell, but here we go. You can turn the head left and right, far be it from the hair to block you, of course, so that is what's going to happen. But you can get some head movement in there. There is a lot of tilt going on. That is pretty nice. Looking down, not really looking up because of the hair. Now, let me get into this part. Because we do have an additional head sculpt, if you're familiar with SH Figuarts, you can basically remove the hair and the face together, which, there you go. That is what you're going to do to change out the face, like so. Now, this is interesting from what I saw. The neck peg, do you see that? Do you see how it's plugged in there? The neck peg is very different. They allowed it for you to like look downwards for it, because when you pop this out, it's actually plugged in on the back end of it, not like on the bottom or underneath where, you know, you plop it down like this. No, that's not how it works. Apparently you're going to just, it's going to use on the back of the head like so. Interesting. I don't recall that in the other snail shells that I have, but hey, that's different. If it works, it works. I'll take it. That is what you get with your head sculpt, as well as the articulation for it. The arms can move out that high, I guess. They can do a full rotation. There is a form of a like shoulder joint. You can call it butterfly because there is a little bit of movement there. I think if you move the hair out of the way, you can do that. There is an upper arm, a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and of course you saw the wrist ball pegs that you can turn and move up and down, left and right. The diaphragm joint on the chest that you can maneuver around like so, moving back a little bit, forward a little bit too, not so much. There is a form of like a ball waist, because here the pelvis part, the underwear part, is loose. People call it like a diaper type of covering over there, but that's what kind of is. But the hip itself is maneuverable, so you can get that movement in there. That is nice. But here's my thing about this, because I think it's based upon how they make the joints for the legs, and you can see how awkward that kind of looks, because the thighs there, I mean, that's what it's meant to be. I mean, you can really cross your legs like that, which now it's a little bit better to see. But when I remember looking at the instructions, you can maneuver these thigh joints, or upper thigh joints, or hip joints I should say, to do some pretty crazy stuff. And I think if you can see this, you can do full splits, and I think you can go as far as doing a straddle, and you just have to, yeah, see that? That's pretty crazy. You just have to maneuver, because the pelvis joint here is an odd shape. it's almost like a hand, like a, not a, I want to say handlebar shape, but you know, like a certain bicycle handlebar shape, not straight across, but it's got that shape to it, and you have to just maneuver. You see, okay, here you go. See what I mean? You see that joint right there? That's what I'm talking about. And it's almost like a drop down where you can maneuver the legs to go in and pop them into place. And look at that. See? When you pop them into place like that, now it's got a much better streamlined look to it. So that is the point of these, the articulation for these legs, because you'll be popping them out to make certain movements on the leg, but then once you form it back in, look at that. That looks much better than I had it before, right? So there you go. That is that the hip articulation, which you can easily, I can drop this out and really make that leg kick up, right? That's pretty cool. But don't be too crazy with it. I'd say just be careful how you articulate that. There is an upper thigh cut. There is your double jointed knee. And then of course you have your ankle joint, which is a ball peg, of course, so you can twist and turn. It has pivot as well, so you can mess with that. The tail, like I said, you can pop this tail out because there's the hole, and all it does is you can just swivel that right there. And I think that's pretty much it for articulation. Okay, yes, it sucks. I'm using the stand to keep her standing. I have a terrible base right here, so I have to use that for the time being. But I wanted to at least hold her up so we can kind of do some measurements just to see. And she is, you know, right at the top of the horn, the very top of the horn, 7 inches tall. But right at the head, like 6 1/4 inches tall. So that's actually a pretty nice 1/12 scale figure. All right, here we have some Marvel Legends and some G.I. Joe Classified series. And here we are with the Mezco Gomez, Spiro Toys Animals Warriors of the Kingdom, and some Mythic Legions, and some SH Figuarts, some Joy Toy figures, and here are my other 2 snail shell figures. All right, guys, there you have it. There is my unboxing showcase review on the new snail shell Lustia figure. So again, Snail Shell does a great job with female figures. I think it's awesome. I think it looks great. I love how there's just, you know, different forms that they do in terms of the shape and the size of the female bodies that they've been doing. Because as you saw with the other 2 figures that I had for the comparison, they're great. There's different sizes, different, you know, heights, different breast sizes, different hip sizes, legs. They're all over the place with, you know, making different style characters for you, and I enjoy it. It's actually pretty damn cool. This one is no different. This one is actually a really cool, you know, unique type of character that they got going on here. If there's a story behind her, by all means, I'll see if I can figure that one out. But I think they did a great job with this one. Has still, you know, minimal accessories in regards to just like the whip and the book. Wish there was a little bit extra. The hands, all the hands are pretty nice. I like how we can change out the style of the feet, which is actually pretty cool. It's unfortunate that, you know, this size of the hooves, unfortunately, I understand in regards to, you know, her shape of her body. It's a smaller size, you know, hoof. But you cannot, it is nearly impossible to stand with her. But I guess that's where this flight stand comes into play. So by all means, I get it. Flight stands are definitely a requirement for figures like these. So I think it's still a great looking figure. Articulates very nicely. I mean, you can cross her legs, for God's sakes. That's really cool. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your thoughts on this figure. We all know, based on aesthetics, goddamn, this is still a cool looking figure. But make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for checking out the video. Let me know your thoughts. Hope to hear from you guys soon, and I hope to see you on the next hunt.